Hello and welcome to part 2 of my first playthrough of GRIS. I'm Nat, and I'm really excited to check out more of this game. I had a really chill time with it last time. I think the highlight for me so far is definitely the art direction and the animation. It has a very beautiful painterly quality to it. The game is incredibly surreal and dreamlike. The narrative and kind of what's going on with the storytelling is still pretty unclear to me. I'm not sure if it's some kind of dream or symbolic or if this is like actually a real world that this character is exploring. Um, I feel like at the start of the game, we see the character, they lose their voice, they're singing, and they kind of fall. All the color drains out of the world and out of them as well. Out of like the character's actual like body, it seems. And they fall into this kind of like depressed state where they're just kind of collapsing on the ground and slowly moving. And then as the game has been going on, we've been restoring different colors to the world. So I'm wondering if it's some kind of like situation where it's about like losing kind of like the most precious thing to you, or this thing that you kind of like perceive as being the most important thing to you, and then trying to like kind of pick yourself up after that and kind of still kind of find value and beauty in life and so on, and kind of like restore color to your world, so to speak. And I've been thinking the game will kind of culminate with the character getting their voice back, but I'm wondering if maybe it won't, and it's kind of more about them just moving on without that, but still finding kind of all this beauty in life. And I think like a really one of the highlights of the game was the moment in the forest chapter where I kind of befriended that little cube creature and was like feeding them apples and stuff. And I think that was just kind of like a really sweet, poignant little kind of like journey in that level of the game. Kind of this quiet storytelling that was just very interactive, and that's kind of like symbolic of like, you know, this character is still finding like joy in their life and making connections. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but that's just kind of my reading on it so far. But regardless, it's just, yeah, it's just a very vibey game. So yeah, it's a beautiful summer evening for me right now, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to jumping back into this and just kind of seeing where it takes me next. It's been a couple days since I've played it, so I gotta remember the controls. Yeah, I just forgot. The animation is just so good. It really is kind of just like a moving painting. So we got our cube power. And we can walk with that. And I recently got this double jump, which I'm still trying to get the hang of. The way it works is kind of weird. You can kind of like... I feel like before I was... like jumping into the double jump and then getting out of it and then jumping again or something. I don't know. There's some weird mechanics with it that I feel like I gotta get the hang of. It's cool that the rain ambience is kind of like... it changes like in intensity, it seems like, depending on where you are. Yeah, like that. That's what I was trying to get. I was doing a bad job explaining it, but when you use these, you can do a second double jump to get further. And that's what was kind of tripping me up, I think, last time. The character looks like a bird, I'm just now realizing. Like their cape looks like wings. And we kind of like were running away from this giant bird last time. Background just really looks like watercolor. Can I? Maybe I can't get up there. I'm not sure if I'm hitting a wall or if I'm just barely not making it here. I know I didn't make it that time, but okay, there we go. The sun in the background really stands out too. Okay, that's another chapter, it looks like. So I do... Oh, it looks like there was something maybe hidden in the wall there on the right. I want to check that out. I do know where I need to go. I remember down below there's an area with the symbol of a turtle. But I couldn't reach it, so I'm guessing the water flooded that area, and now we're going to go to like the blue color zone. Probably like a water area. Which I'm really looking forward to. I think that's going to be like so beautiful in this game. I'm kind of a water level apologist. I think like the atmosphere and art design of water areas is often really, really beautiful, and I get why people often don't like water levels because they can kind of slow down the movement in certain games and so on, but yeah, it depends on the game, but I just often really appreciate the vibes. Yep, cool. So I bet this correlates to kind of these things I've been collecting in the game. Like these little icons I've been collecting. Because some of the spokes are missing on the right side, so I'm guessing that's what that is. But I can't go back to previous levels, so I'm curious how that's going to work. Like, after I finish the game, can I go back? Or do you really just need to do it in one go, and you just can't go back? Like, would I have to replay the whole game to get everything? I'm really curious about that. That would be a really, really interesting design decision if they did it that way. I'd be curious. I'll be curious to see how that's handled. Because I can understand on a first playthrough they just kind of want you to keep moving forward and not get hung up on that, so I could see why they'd leave it locked until maybe after you finish the game. But if it really is just a one and done, that would be really definitely different. Games don't usually do that. I love the footstep sounds. I just love like the blue color scheme. Little droplets of water. Oh. Going down in like a cavern. Oh, good footsteps. Sorry. I said I combined sounds and noises and said soises. Good footstep sounds. Yeah, I think I said this the last session, but I feel like the way footsteps sound in a game and the way it feels to move, they all just contribute to the feel of a game and the atmosphere. And it's just something I always kind of pay attention to and look for in games. It's cool, it's just like quiet. Really, really good sound design in this game too. I love how this area looks. Almost reminds me of like one of the silhouetted levels in like like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or something, which is another really beautiful game. Got a bell. I noticed the characters, when they're swimming, their hair gets wet. So like here, they have short hair, and it's kind of like music starting up. Yeah, their hair is like aloft, and then when you go in the water, it gets dampened down. That's a really, really cool touch. So I think that might have been teaching you that if you jump with the or fall with the block from a high distance, you kind of like go underwater. I love the way the character's like outfit billows, is constantly billowing slightly. Same with their hair. So cool looking. The water's up above now. This is such a beautiful game, damn. And that was like the one thing I knew about it before playing it. I'm just so incredibly blown away by the things artists do, artists and animators do in games these days. You know, and have been doing for quite a while now. All these little environmental details. Just love a cave in a game. Love a good, just drippy, atmospheric cave. Always a highlight. Forgot I had a double jump for a minute. Yeah, so it taught me earlier with that moment that I can, it forced me to do that earlier, to teach me that if I get enough height, I can drop lower with the cube. I feel like it would make sense to just sync with it, like intuitive sense, but that's not how it works, I guess. This is cool. It's almost like, we're not underwater, but that ruin is almost like a reflection of the ruin above. Even though it's not actually a reflection. Good drippy water sounds. Do you just automatically... Yeah, they kind of flap their cape when you use those little butterflies or whatever to jump up. I wanted to test if like you automatically floated for a little bit after using that. That looks cool. I feel like there's a secret here. Nope. Just cool. Just like a cool environmental Nice, like, set piece there. Love that. Oh, cool. I didn't expect this level to be like a dark cave. It's interesting. This game, I feel like this game's main thing is it's just like an audio-visual delight, right? And there are like, you know, mechanics and stuff going on, but I feel like that's the main, that was like the goal of this game. And that's awesome, right? I think that's like the game they wanted to make, and I think it's just a real, just like treat. Just experiencing all this. There's often like a pushback in games against games that don't have these like a bunch of mechanics and everything. There's the whole term like walking simulator and stuff like that. I've always thought that it's just like so diminishing of like what games can be. Games can be absolutely anything. They can do so many different things, and I think like such a huge part of like the video game experience is like the audio visual experience often. And if a game is like primarily just about that, that's like completely valid. And if you just kind of give yourself to that and get into that, it can be really incredible. I mean, we all have different tastes and all that. You know, I appreciate if someone is more into the mechanical side of things. And for me, it's just, you know, I love every aspect of games, mechanics, the art design, like everything. And it depends on the game too, you know, but I think just every game is a case by case basis. And yeah, I just, yeah, I'm often very much a big proponent of like games are, they're more than just mechanics. Often the mechanics and kind of the, just the raw design of games is what's discussed and focused on, but yeah, just art, like theming of environments, music, sound design, obviously storytelling, which is often discussed in games as well. You know, there's so many different aspects to games, and yeah, a game can be anything it wants to be. If it doesn't want to be super mechanically focused, then that's like obviously totally okay. And it all depends on how it executes things and everything, of course, but yeah, I think like if the goal of this game was this kind of beautiful audio-visual journey, you know, it's really succeeding at that. And not to diminish the other things the game has going on, and clearly it has like these puzzles and other aspects going on as well. But I just think for me that's the main draw so far. It's kind of that audio visual aspect. I mean, just look at it. Look at this. I could see this maybe being a game I like replay from time to time just to chill out. It's probably like a fun game to speedrun as well. Just like a really zen experience. Because I'm guessing it's not a super long game. I'm guessing it's like this level, and then I think there was one up above. So it's probably like, I think it's like 4 main levels maybe, and then maybe like an ending. That's my guess. So 4 colors maybe. But we'll see. Oh, there's little, okay. Oh, you gotta free them, right? It's a little hard to see that again. Sometimes when the camera's zoomed out, it can be a little tough to pick up on stuff like that. Because you can see them in the little jars. that they're hiding in, the little butterflies. You can see them kind of like peeking out. That was cool. It feels like the world is like alive, right? So many little weird creatures and things going on. Cool. I always love like going deeper and deeper in a game and like an environment. Oh, cool. This is like ice or something? Kind of looks like, what is it called? Is it basalt or like the Giant's Causeway kind of stone pillars? Look at this. Cool. What the heck? So if I stand still, like a version of me freezes? Can I jump on it? This is so interesting. Alright, let's go to the right first. Looks like we gotta do two things. One thing on the left, one thing on the right. Like froze in my singing animation. You would think I could, like, use it as a platform or something. Let's try the other side again. What just happened there? Oh, because I went down a... What, freeze if I'm jumping? It's a really cool effect that it freezes whatever you're doing. I feel like that must have been hard to, like, program. But I don't know. Looks like I think if you're in midair, maybe it doesn't freeze. Let's try something. Does it give you like a boost or something, maybe? Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Really interesting mechanic. Gotta remember the cube form. So this is cool. It's taking like this previous mechanic and like building on it in this new way. Can I do this? Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, this is a really cool puzzle mechanic. See, like I was just saying earlier, I was kind of saying the game, the highlight for me is the audio-visual experience, but it has some really cool mechanics going on too, for sure. So I don't want to dismiss that. I never seen, I don't think I've ever seen a mechanic quite like this in a game, which is always cool, because so much stuff has been done before, especially with like, I don't know, like puzzles and stuff like that, puzzle platformers. This is really neat. Always checking for like false walls. Can I not get through there? Maybe you weigh down both? Hmm. Maybe do this. Because the other one breaks, right? I assume I have to get both down. Hmm. I was thinking by putting one above it, it'll prevent it from moving upward. Okay, that does lower it. Okay. Yeah, so if I do this... Yeah, but it doesn't... I feel like the solution to this is probably really simple. I'm just not seeing it. Hmm. Right, I just noticed the thing is... I just noticed something I wasn't paying attention to before. I see, okay, so the... I think it's like a timing thing, maybe? Or no, no, no. I got it. I got it. There we go. Alright, that was a cool puzzle. Because with scales in games, it's always like, oh, you're trying to like balance them the same way, or like get both down at once. I feel like there's puzzles like Zelda and that sometimes. But here it was... I didn't notice the little... I was thinking I would just get both like way down and that this ring would just like open. I wasn't noticed that the ring was like twisting when I was doing it. So you had to like pay attention to like what was going on in the environment. And then yeah, it's like a... what's the word? Like... it's almost like a trick question, or like it subverts your expectations. Because I'm thinking like, you know, like I was saying, and it's always about weighing down the scales, but you actually had to put it beneath the scale. I think that's really funny and clever. Okay. Like how this looks like a big flower pot or something beneath me. New mechanic, maybe? Swimming. Cool. Nice. I look like a big umbrella. Yes, I mentioned at the start of the game, you see these flying things in the background behind the main character. And I mentioned back then they look like the main character if they were like flying from the side. This is what they looked like. So I'm curious if that was like other versions of me or like my people or something. This is fun. Yeah, I was mentioning like I like the vibes of water levels, but yeah, sometimes mechanically they can be rough. So it's important to have like a fun swimming mechanic. And this feels pretty good. I've been using the D-pad for this game. I usually do for like 2D platformers. But I switched to the analog stick for this because it just feels a bit nicer. See, this is the best. This is why I love water levels. The vibes. I love like deep ocean stuff too in general. Oh, this is so cool. It's like getting brighter as I go down. This makes me think I gotta play Abzu. It's another like gorgeous game from the art director of Journey. Journey. This game reminds me of Journey a lot, where it's like on 2D like underwater, or it might be 3D actually. I'm not actually sure, but it's like this underwater adventure. Yeah, those are what's that like sun-shaped ring I found in the hub. I think that's what those are for. Must unlock something if you get them all. Oh, it's a big thing down here. Oh, awesome. It's a big, like, flatfish. I love that type of fish. This is everything I wanted the water level to be in this game. I knew it'd be cool. Do they, like, react to your movement? Yeah, something I love about this game is, like, it has these cool puzzle moments, but it has all these sequences in between that are just pure traversal. And it just really lets, like, the art design and everything breathe. Because it knows that's such a strength of the game. So I love that. I always love when a game just lets a moment breathe, just lets you take in the atmosphere and everything. You don't constantly need to be like doing puzzles or fighting things and so on. This is awesome. I love how in the background, the big spires, they almost look 3D, the way they're drawn. Really cool. Yeah, this is my favorite part of this game so far. This is great. I'm guessing we probably gotta get like 6 things. So yeah, there's a bunch of different paths, so I just don't want to make progress accidentally, which has happened several times in this game, and then I miss the collectibles. But I think I said last time, I'm trying not to worry too much about that, just enjoying the journey. This reminds me of another indie game I played recently called Chrono Gear, Warden of Time. It's on Steam. It's the same developer as one of my favorite indie series, Freedom Planet, which is like Sonic-style action platformers. I was trying to think, I paused for a minute because I was trying to think if it was in Freedom Planet or if it was in Chrono Gear, but there's an underwater level in Chrono Gear that I think it has a similar design to this going on, where you're kind of dashing between like pockets of water. I think it was in that game. It could be in one of the Freedom Planet games. It's maybe been in other platformers too, but I always enjoy this kind of thing. It's just really fun. Having like a speedy water dash and like jumping between like little pockets of water and stuff. It's just a really fun design. Oh, it got quiet. Or like collecting them so we can do a high jump maybe. That's cool. That's cool. I love when like a mechanics evolved like that. Kind of like what I was saying earlier with the cube. Kind of taking a mechanic you're familiar with and then using it in a new way. It's really fun. This is scary. But I love it. Oh, it's like sending me back up. This is going too deep. Or maybe this is like where, maybe this lights up after I collect all the things. I just want to like go down in like this dark area and then like a giant, like huge creature just lights up like behind me or something. That would be so cool. I'm just like vibing. I'm not even like paying attention to where I'm going. Just letting the level design take me. So it's like a mirror. Again, it's like a reflection, but it's actually like corporeal. It's really cool. Alright, so it's probably showing me the way I'm supposed to go. So in the reflection, on the left side of the reflection, the archway isn't broken like it is in the... like the ruin up top. So maybe that's something. Where am I? Oh. Okay, what do I do here? I don't see any of the little red butterflies to jump up higher. What am I missing? Go back underwater. Oh, I can go through here. Okay, I thought that was a solid wall. And that's different. Up above, I see, that's the puzzle, I guess. Up above, you can pass through the pillars, they're transparent. Down below, they're solid, because since they mirror, okay, they mirror each other. And I can also pass through here. Yep, okay, that's how it works. Got it. It just kind of zoomed in there for a sec. Oh. Oh. So is that... So the thing above is the reflection, I guess? Because I'm wondering, like, can I collect the collectible up above? But I'm guessing not. I guess that's just the puzzle. Okay, cool. That's cool. Oh, unless we do this. Can we go that way? No. Where'd they go? Do I have to do it right when I jump out of the water, maybe? I was saying I look like an umbrella earlier, but I think what they're going for is I look like a manta ray or something, which is cool. Are they still with me? I can't tell. Uh, it's hard because there's like a wall up above me. It's cool. This is just like a straight up underwater level with swimming and everything. I kind of wasn't expecting that. I thought it would be more like platforming, but just kind of at like an ocean side or something like that. Okay, how do you do this? There we go. Okay, you just like shoot right up. But I gotta really get up there. Damn. This is tricky. Kind of feels like I'm not supposed to do it this way, but feels doable. I do hope I can go back later to the other zones and collect the other things I missed, like after maybe finishing the game. And it doesn't just require you to replay the whole game to get it all, but we'll see. Oh no, I screwed it up. Yeah, it's just such an awkward angle. Oh, damn. Maybe if I just go straight up, like the curvature of the wall will kind of like guide my path. I'll try that. No, that is not how it works. I just like when the camera's zoomed out like this, I do kind of lose track. At least in this area, I kind of lose track of myself a little. It's kind of hard to spot the character with all the other stuff going on the screen in this particular area. Jump. Jump again. Damn. Okay, just a slight criticism. At least with this area, it's like I just dash downward and I like just totally lose track of my character. I gotta go slow, I guess. It's like the way the lighting is too, like you really fade into the background here. But I feel like that hasn't really been a problem until just this one screen. Yeah, this is really awkward. I feel like this can't be the way you're supposed to do it. I thought, let me try one more thing here, and then I think I'm gonna just move forward. Maybe there's some other way to do this. I just like... No, they just disappear. It's like maybe if I don't jump out of the water, they'll stick with me. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna keep going forward for now. I think I came out through there. Yeah, this bugs me though. I don't want to leave this behind. Hmm. So I think this is where I came from. There's no way I can get all the way up there, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll try one more time. Yeah, I don't think we can get up there. Alright, I'm gonna move on for now. I don't know how to get that collectible. It just seems kind of awkward. Okay, think we went here. Maybe we cube it. Oops. Oh, can I not? Oh, I gotta be out of the water. Okay. All right. I think we've been everywhere. Oh, cool, the turtle. Yeah, so they're gonna like light the way in the darkness. Awesome. Turtle friend. Thank you, turtle. This music is so good. Can we go back up in the dark, I wonder? No. Oh, wow. I love all like the little stars following that are always following you around. But that's what we collected in this area, I guess, and then we bring it back to the hub because we're kind of like building this constellation in the sky. It's kind of like a really cool central goal of the game. I love all like the glowy like mist and stuff down here. That's so cool looking. There's something there. Looks like we gotta go there. You really shoot out of the water when you do that. I always love when like the movement evolves in a game, so now like we're stringing together these different movement options with the water and the double jump and all that. Really cool. Oh, do you swim up the waterfall? Yeah, cool. So cool. Wow. Yellow, okay. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of what color it was. Oh yeah, oh, A. Oh. Damn. Now the bird. Bird's back. Am I can't even tell. Like, am I controlling this? Yeah, I guess I am. I don't have a lot of movement options. I can dash, though, it seems. Yeah, I'm kind of like auto-moving forward. So I gotta just focus on dodging it. That's creepy. So this like, so there's some kind of shadow creature like pursuing us that's like turning into different things, I guess. Like the bird earlier, and now this. That seems to be like the villain of the game or something. Oh damn. Go up. I was gonna say, it looks like there's something behind me. But I think it's just kind of like the cavern background. I love this kind of stuff in games. Like deep, dark, underground. Uh-oh, battery. Not a good time for that. Deep, dark, like underground, underwater sections. Let me plug my controller in. Okay. We are plugged in. Which way? Nice. Kind of like ramming into every wall and stuff because I'm looking for those things. It's always a tricky thing with games, especially games like this where it's kind of this linear, very atmospheric adventure. Do you want the player to just be focused on moving forward with the story and everything, or like kind of worrying about finding little trinkets and secrets off to the side? And it's something I think about a lot with games because I feel like sometimes I kind of just would appreciate if a game just didn't have collectibles and just like, because it does kind of like distract. Like, because like this moment is like this very beautiful, somber, kind of linear progression, but I'm at the same time like, oh, I don't want to miss the little trinkets, especially because the game doesn't let you go back. So it kind of distracts from the experience. So it's fun to have collectibles, and I think developers add it to add like, you know, more game time to their game and all that. And in a platformer, it's fun to find all the secrets a lot of the time, but yeah, I don't know. I just question if in like this game in particular, and kind of games like this where they're just kind of these very like artistic, atmospheric, linear games, if maybe just not having any distraction like that would be better. But yeah, I don't really have an answer right now. It's just kind of something I'm thinking about. Looks like I'm on a net or something. Might just be stuff in the like seaweed or something. But yeah, like I think in a game like a Mario platformer or something, it's fun to have like collectibles maybe and stuff like that. But in a game like this, it's kind of a bit different, where I kind of just want to be focused on just the experience, right? Just moving through these environments and everything. Kind of the story the game is telling. This looks super cool. Oh god. Oh my god, that got me. That got me. I gotta... time my dashes. Jeez. Oh god. Turtle friend. Thank you, turtle friend. Yeah, it's interesting. These like kind of like these set piece moments in this game like that. So what's interesting about that is like I'm not sure if I was even able to like die there or fail. It kind of felt like I was trying to dodge it at the right time, but it kind of felt like it also didn't matter. I also had very little control. Like I couldn't really move to the left or right much. Um, and I feel like there's been a couple. There's been a handful of like even that moment when the statue was falling apart earlier. I was trying to control the character, but I wasn't. It was all just it was like a cutscene, and I kind of feel like that should be interactive. I guess they didn't want you to just like not know what's going on and fail and take you out of the moment. And again, I said this game is very focused on this like beautiful audio visual experience, and it is beautiful, and it is like the music's amazing too. It really hits. It really like pumps you up. Um, but I do wonder if some of these sequences would be even more impactful if I had a bit more control and felt like I actually had more agency during them. So, because there are games out there that that have the beautiful audio visual aspect, but you still have like full control over your character and stuff. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little mixed on these sequences, I guess. Like I was saying earlier, yeah, like of course it's totally cool for a game to be focused on the vibes, right? Uh, but when you're kind of like taking almost all control away from the player, it's more like, I'm kind of like watching like an animation almost, right? I kind of have barely any control, and it's still cool. But I do kind of feel like I should like I couldn't really like move left or right during that sequence. I barely could at all, and that feels a little strange to me. I feel like I should have had more control there, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm a little torn on those moments, but they still are cool, right? Like that was still a cool moment. Yeah, it's a tricky thing in games when like if a developer wants to guide an experience heavily and like having too much control might have messed it up somehow, but if you take away like all control, then like it is more like a cutscene, which is valid. Games have cutscenes, but it's more like when a moment like that, I have a little control but not full control, and it just feels kind of weird because it's like the game is suddenly just taking away the full swimming control from me when it feels like I should have it, when it feels like I should be able to just move around fluently. But anyway, yeah, it's still artistically gorgeous at the very least, visually. I was like, what am I walking on? Oh, I guess it's like a stone platform. I thought it was like frozen water or something. It's cool. This kind of combines like we're kind of doing like an ice thing mixed with the water. Doesn't have the frozen gimmick though anymore. So this is definitely my favorite level so far, right? It's like got these beautiful underwater sections, but it's mixing it with like these kind of light gimmicks and like the whole cave theming. It just has a lot of cool stuff going on. It's just mixing a lot of like my favorite kind of like themings and stuff like that. And I thought those ice puzzles earlier were really cool. Oh, that's cool. I just thought the bouncy animation with the characters running around looks so nice. It sounds like those flying creatures are like swimming through water, which is interesting. Again, the game, I feel like the game is like a dream or something, or like symbolic. Like, I'm questioning if this is like, it's meant to be like a real world we're in. Everything is just like so surreal and stuff. Again, I like a lot of like the gimmicks and stuff on the game. They really take advantage of like the game's art design. It's like the art mixing with like these kind of very visual, playful mechanics, like these trees. And it's a visual feast. Something to the right, looks like. Yep. Yeah, because I think I saw that earlier too when I was down below. It's interesting how like the character is very like they're like a shapeshifter. They kind of like a bird form, like a manta ray form. They can turn into a cube. Oh, cool. Again, it's all about the visual experience in this game. It's just like a cool thing you can do. It's really cool. Just a cool thing you can do for the sake of it. I love that. Or I guess maybe it's no. I think it's not just for the sake of it because I kind of hit the tree. I think when I was flying, but you can't. It's kind of hard to reach, and it's meant to light that up. So there is a functional purpose to it too. Oh, was I here earlier? I was in a room similar to this earlier, I think. Again, dashing through like cubes of water, it's always a fun mechanic in platformers. Am I back in the hub? Yeah. I think I'm straight up back in the hub. Cool. That was a cool kind of transition. Oh, it looks so different now. It's like darker, which is interesting. Looks like there's a stairway up to the left there. That looks cool. Maybe some kind of sky world or something, maybe. But I think I'm gonna call part 2 here. This looks so beautiful. Okay, so let's go back to the title screen. So yeah, it's like the only thing I love the colors on this title screen too, the pinks and the blues and stuff, greens. I kind of mentioned that I think when I started it. Um, yeah, all that really comes to mind with this game is it's just really beautiful. It's just a really damn beautiful game. Uh, in general, but visually, mainly I'm thinking about. It's just major kudos to the art designers. They really had a vision, and I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot of games with beautiful art styles out there. There's maybe some games that come to mind that maybe kind of have a similar aesthetic and kind of Journey, though Journey's 3D, it's not 2D. But I still feel like this game looks very unique. It's really doing its own thing. And just the way it's animated and everything. And yeah, it's just a really, really beautiful experience. It's just very much just a game that you just vibe with and just kind of like let it take you. That's really cool. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap up part 2 here. I'll be back with part 3 in the near future, so look out for that. It looks like maybe, I'm guessing there's going to be like one more like level left, the yellow level, which might be like, maybe that represents like stars or something. It looks like we're going to the sky. We kind of had like the white, bleak, like kind of opening level, tutorial level, I guess, at the beginning when the character was like kind of like very depressed and so on after they lost their voice. And then we had the red level, which was kind of like this kind of deserty, rocky wasteland, I guess. And then the green forest level, which I really liked. And then today, the blue water level, caverns. I think this was my favorite level. I really liked the forest one as well. Each one has kind of had a friend. You kind of had the little cube critter in the forest. This one we had like the turtle friend. The red one, we kind of had those little creatures hiding inside the rocks. So maybe that kind of counts as your kind of companion there. So it's like different people or characters helping this main character while they're kind of being pursued by this shadow creature. And again, I can't help but think it's some kind of like metaphor or symbolic of like the character's depression or something, kind of hounding them or trying to drag them down. And they're trying to like find this kind of light and beauty, in their life or in their travels. And it seems like a very poetic game. Like maybe maybe that's just my own reading, but and it seemed like there was a moment when we had to like press A after we collected the yellow color. We pressed A to try to sing, but the characters still couldn't sing. So it's like, oh, now that they've collected all these colors and stuff, and they're feeling better about themselves, maybe they can sing again. But they still couldn't sing, and that's when the big shadow creature appeared. So it seems to me like it's very much like that represents like their despair, trying to drag them down. And they're kind of like helping. There's these friends they're meeting along the way, because friends can help you through these kinds of things. So yeah, that's kind of my take on what might be going on. So yeah, so maybe in part 3 I might wrap the game up if there is one more level. Like I think there might be one more level and a conclusion is my guess. There could be more than that, but we'll see. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll be back for part 3. And thank you again, and have a wonderful day. Take care.